willingness to learn, drop all your ego and pride, be coachable, be teachable, and just follow the system. And if that's something you can do, which I truly believe is just a decision and a choice, every one of us on this call together eventually can become Influencer 200K with GPS. You know, before I go over some of the topics, Mr. David Nieves wanted me to share with all of you, a few things I do want to tell you guys that are exciting is by end of August or maybe mid-August, our reporting system will continue to get better. I spoke with Mr. Danny Bay. We're going to be able to see our teams holding volume very soon. We're going to see how much VRLU subscriptions on our left side, right side. We're going to be able to see promotions happen instantly and continue to get better as we give good feedbacks. And that's part of being at the very beginning of a company like GPS, which is a startup, which we're going to grow it together and eventually get this company to look absolutely beautiful. I don't even think that was the term. But as far as right now, we're proud of all of you guys for even being around GPS and having the vision while majority of the people cannot see the vision, especially at this early start. That's why we have the most to gain, okay, and the most to do and the most to sacrifice, but we will get the most reward. And right now, every one of us in GPS, regardless of what time zone you are, gotta first make a decision that you are a leader. And making a decision is just a choice of yours that you're gonna do what leaders do, and you're gonna lead from the front and help as many people win. And is it gonna be some sacrifice? Of course. Even if it's just on a Zoom like this, you know, turning on your camera or being in the right environment to mentally focus on information that could change your life is all just a choice. It's just a decision. And all of you are making that decision. All of you are making that choice. And you got to start leading and working as if you're already the highest rank in this company. So what I want to share with all of you today that Mr. Nieves wanted me to go over is a few information. I want to talk about, you know, tap rooting and sorting for leaders. And I also want to share with you something, if you have experience in this industry, it's something we all learn, but it's going to be a reminder and very important, which is the 4 phases of network marketing. And I want to write it down on a whiteboard today. And hopefully all of you will be able to see. And all of you that have some quite experience in this industry, you probably already heard of this, okay? So in network marketing, okay, first thing we got to understand is nobody in your team is your employee. Every one of us are bosses. Every one of us that have influencers in our team are all bosses themselves. It's a voluntary army. So you can't really tell people what to do like it's an employee. You got to show them how to do this. And most importantly, there are business partners where we're going to do this all together. So never, ever, ever, ever really, you know, treat anyone like just because they're in your downline, they're in your team, ever like an employee. Give them the full respect as they're their own boss, and they're going to make their own choice, but you're going to influence them and show them what to do. But when I got involved in this industry, I remember when I first started, I was ignorance on fire. I was so excited. I saw my business just explode out of control. And then I saw my business go on a huge dip. And the moment I learned the 4 phases in network marketing and how important it is to stay on phase 1 and got back on phase 1 is when my business re-exploded again and never slowed down because we continue to stay in that phase 1. So let me go over the basics with you guys just so you understand. And the funny part is, as I go over this, it's going to remind yourself like, oh my gosh, I'm on phase 1. Oh my gosh, I'm on phase 2. Holy cow. No wonder my business slowed down because I'm on phase 3, phase 4, and you're going to get it. So the 4 phases in network marketing, we call phase 1. And for all of you, my handwriting is pretty nasty, so bear with me, okay? So what is phase 1? Phase 1 is actively recruiting and acquiring customers. okay? And when I mean actively recruiting, actively personal recruiting, and actively helping your team personally recruit. What I mean by acquiring customers is actively personally acquiring customers and actively personally helping your team acquire customers. So always remember, phase one is personally recruiting and personally helping somebody on your team recruit. Personally acquiring customers and helping your team personally acquire their customers. When you stay on phase one, what happens, okay, is you get a massive momentum. But what happens is this is something everybody goes through in this industry. I went through it, and eventually you go through it again, even as a leader, but you just got to remind yourself. Because what happens is when you get on phase two, here's what phase two means, okay? Phase two is now managing your existing influencers. So here's what happened to me. My first 30 days in this business, my business exploded in network marketing. Why? Like I said, I was on phase one when I first got started. I was actively recruiting. I was actively acquiring customers. I was actively helping my team. And what happens is we start getting status in the company. We become influencer 100, influencer 250, influencer 500. And for me personally, I never really got promoted at my jobs before because, you know, I was so young and always made minimum wage. So for the first time, I felt very important. Because I got a pin and recognition, I felt like I was a leader now. So what happens is I got into phase two in this industry very quickly, and I started managing my people like a boss. I was like, yo, David, how many people did you call today? Yo, David, how many guests do you have on the webinar for tomorrow? Okay, give me a text. Hey, Yuli, how many people did you talk to today? Okay, I would text him, Yuli, give me just the guest count for tomorrow. And what happens is I got stuck and I started becoming a manager in this business versus doing what I did, personally recruiting, personally helping my team get on the phone calls, personally helping them three-way calls, personally following up, personally helping my team members close. I started feeling important because my team got bigger. And what happens when you get on phase two is you start having what's called decreased momentum. But I still didn't notice my business slow down too much because everything you do in this business, it doesn't show up right away. It literally shows up 2-3 weeks later. If you're personally in the trenches right now going hard at it, but you're not getting that result you want, you got to keep at it for 2-3 weeks. I got on phase two, but because the results showed 2-3 weeks later, literally, I didn't know my business was really decreasing in the momentum. And here's what happened. Because I didn't know, I got into what is called phase three. And when I got into phase three, this is worse. This is where now we're managing the managers. So what happens when you start becoming in phase three, it's no decrease in momentum, it's called no momentum. And here's what phase three really means. It's now my team is gonna do what I do, not what I tell them to do. So now it's like me saying, hey, David, how many people are you gonna have on the call today? How many guests do you have? So you know what David does? He goes, I'll get right back to you, Mr. On. And here's what David does. David calls Robert Joe and be like, yo, Robert, how many people are you gonna have on the call tonight? How many guests do you have on the call tonight? And let's just say Robert said, I'm gonna have 3. Robert reports back to David Nieves, and David Nieves gets, oh, there's gonna be 3. So David Nieves gets back to me now and say, Mr. Adam, we're gonna have 3 guests at this meeting and so. And what happens is your momentum completely dies. Because phase 1 is instead of asking Robert, it's helping Robert make the phone calls. It's helping Robert, right, get guests on the call and knowing who those people are gonna be even prior to the meeting, right? But here's what happens. There's the next step. It's called phase 4. And phase 4 is called the blame game. It's called phase out. Now, if you're on phase 4, here's what you start doing. It's not my fault. It's GPS's fault. It's not my fault. The headset took too long to get there. It's not my fault. And you start blaming everything. It's because of the coronavirus. It's not my fault. It's because we can't meet people. It's not my fault. It's because my team is stupid. It's not my fault. It's because my team's not working. And all that happens is you start blaming every single situation except for yourself. And remember one thing, when you're pointing fingers at something else, there's always 4 fingers pointing back at you. Remember, a leader never makes an excuse, and because they never make an excuse, they never accept excuses from anybody else. One of my mentors told me, if you're somebody who never makes an excuse, and you put all blame on yourself, that if it's to be, it's up to me, you'll also never accept an excuse. But if you're somebody that accepts everyone's excuses on why they can't succeed, on why they can't do certain things, and you accept it, it's because you're somebody that also makes excuses. So it's so important as a leader, we find a way or make a way, and ask yourself this question right now. Is your business in massive momentum? Is your business in decreased momentum? Is your business in no momentum? Or is your business right now phase out where you're playing the blame game? And I'll prove it to you guys right now. When we pre-launched this company, April 27th until June 1st, our back office wasn't the back office we use today. We couldn't see sales volume, okay? We had a slower customer service. Not one of us, including myself, had a Pico G2 device like this that we could show anybody. We couldn't see how much volume was hitting. We couldn't see any of that. But some of you, let's be honest, did way more business when you had way less information, no product, no volume. Why is that? Some of you think it's because I was just excited. It is true. You were excited, but it's also because you were on phase 1. You were actively recruiting, excited about the future, excited to be a pioneer, excited to help your team. And because you were on phase 1, you know what happened? Your team was doing what you were doing actively every day. So they were duplicating what you did. So guess what happened? Knowing less with no product, no volume, no customer service, you did way more. So right now, it is so important for all of us on this call to realize where you're at. And I will tell you guys right now, I've been in the industry for 15 years in 4 different companies and hit all top positions, and I'm guilty of it. Where I go from phase 1, and then I get to phase 2 also. And then I stop myself and remind myself, oh my gosh, I'm getting on phase 2, and you could get right back to phase 1, because you know why? It's just a decision. It's a choice. And remember one thing, as you're building this business, you gotta help your team do exactly what you do. You know, it's so much easier to say, do what I do versus do what I tell you to do. When you're personally recruiting, guess what? All you gotta do is tell your new influencers, just the way I recruited you, I'm gonna help you recruit and build a team. So going over this now, I wanna get into, which is my favorite. This is where the business gets so fun, and it will stay fun for all of you, okay? Which is my favorite topic in network marketing, and this is how it gets so fun. Like, the business gets so fun if you master what I'm about to go over, okay? And everybody in the industry calls it cat rooting, okay? But I believe taprooting, all it really means is sorting for leaders. And especially in our compensation plan, especially in a binary like GPS, it is so important you learn how to taproot very quickly, okay? And learn how to sort for leaders. Remember what John C. Maxwell says, right? It's easier to find a leader than to create one, okay? It doesn't mean you can't create leaders, okay? It does not mean someone who's slow cannot become a leader, okay? You know why? I've seen people have fast success in this industry, like boom, get very blessed, like someone like Mark Isaac, very first year, boom, hit it. Second year, over $500,000 in the industry at 19 to 20, very quickly. But there's also other people who took 5 years, not making a lot of money, and then eventually it clicked because they stayed plugged in. They read the books, they did the personal development, and they have an aha moment and a breakthrough and eventually become a leader. But let me share with you, it's easier sorting and finding one that's got the leadership skill and the influencers so you can explode this business very quickly. So what is taprooting, okay, and sorting for leaders, okay? If this is somebody that just got started who's a brand new influencer, okay? All taprooting means who do you know? And what you want to get very, very good at this business, okay, is getting an influencer for an influencer no later than 24 hours. Because here's the psychology of it. Imagine this was a burning candle, okay? And this candle, okay, had the only fire, okay? There was no matches, there was no lighter. You're right now in the mountains, and this candle that's keeping you warm, keeping you be able to do whatever you need to do with it that has fire. Imagine in 24 hours, it's gonna die. What are you supposed to do? Get the next candle, right, before it dies and light it, right? Because you wanna save that fire. That is this business. If you wait more than 24 hours, the fire dies. This is a leadership conversation. So here's how you look at it. Imagine every single person that joins your team, every single day, every single week, every single month. What if 100% they were the next influencer 200K on your team? How would you treat them? How would you talk to them? How would you work with them? But at the same time, what if 100% they're gonna quit next 24 hours? That's gotta be your mindset. Everybody that joins your team is the next influencer 200K. But every single person that joins your team is gonna quit within 24 hours. What you would wanna do is get that influencer to lead you to another influencer right away, no later than 24 hours. Because what happens is this in this business. If you get an influencer for an influencer, you don't care if this person quits as long as you found somebody. You don't care if this person slacks off because you found somebody. You don't care if this person isn't as coachable because you found somebody. And what happens is you get this influencer, make sure they help you find another influencer within 24 hours maximum. Maximum. If you can do more than one level, your same day and maybe did this 24 hours, even better. But here's what happens. You keep digging within 24 hours, within 24 hours. Not a spillover that came through your upline. I'm talking about you helping this influencer tap into their warm market and finding an influencer. What happens is this, you're not letting them go. A lot of people go, well, I don't want to abandon this influencer. No, you're not. The only way you can get everybody excited is to see their business grow out of control in a line, and everybody above is fired up. But here's the reason why a lot of us cannot learn how to taproot. Because let's just say you sign somebody up and that person says, I'm gonna make you so rich in this business. You have no idea what kind of connection I got. You have no idea how many books I've read because you found me. You're going to go influencer 200K. You have no idea. And you know what happens? We believe everything a new person says, and we start getting jacked up. I found me a leader. I found me someone who's going to make me influencer 200K. So what happens is you might have helped that person get one influencer, and this person might have been so good, he might have found another person here. Boom, 24-hour influencer 100. I found the one. I found it. Nobody on my team did influencer 100 first 24 hours. I think I found it. So what happens is you get into phase 2, and now you start telling this person who had fast success, like, hey, help that person do what I did to you. Hey, make sure you help your new person get on the call today. And what happens is we start getting on phase 2, managing this person, because we believe just because they hit influencer 100 first 24 hours and told us they're going to be an influencer 200K and get us there, we're out of nowhere leveraging this person and start telling this person what to do and only texting this person. But that's not what you do. That's not what you do in this business at all. If you really got someone good, you got to show them what taprooting is. And what did I share with you? Do the same thing with this person. Do the same thing with this person. Do the same thing with this person. Do the same thing with this person, and keep digging deep. You know, here's what Danny Bay told me. What Danny Bay, our chairman and founder, Mr. Danny Bay, shared with me when I got involved in this industry, and I remember I was on my way up, is he told me to see how fast you could go 10 levels deep. And this was not even a binary. This was a company where it was a unilevel breakaway. You could go wide as you want. But he always told me, hey, Mike, if you want your momentum to never die, within a week maximum, see if you could go down 10 levels. And I go, what was your record to go down to 10 levels? He said, I did it within 24, 48 hours. I was like, holy cow. You went that deep that quickly? Yeah, because it's who do you know? And here's what's going to happen. You can't believe what everybody says. You got to believe what you see. Because everybody would talk in this business. And you got to sort and sort and sort for leaders. Because as you keep going down, some of them, like I said, is going to say, I'm going to get you to become so rich, and they do absolutely nothing. Then you're going to taproot to somebody else that's go, hey, I've been in 5 companies. You know, I hit top positions in everything. I made so much money in this industry. And what you realize is some of them are talkers. What happens also in this business is as you keep taprooting, some of them, I'm telling you right now, I know everybody in Dallas, Texas. And you realize nobody knows them, right? It's crazy what happens in this business. So it's so important. Don't believe what people say. You're not going to disrespect them. But you got to do your part and keep going down. See, 10 levels within less than a week was our other comp plan where you could go wide. In a binary, like our company with spillovers, right now, if you don't already have 100 levels, right now, you're not taprooting, and there's no way you could be in momentum. See, it is so important that all of us on this business learn how to taproot. And it's urgency. You got to remember, it's an emergency if over 24-hour passes and an influencer who joins your team does not have an influencer. Think about this for a second. What's going on all over the world right now? Right? A global crisis with this pandemic, coronavirus. You know what that also means? It's a global opportunity right now where more people are hungry to make more money. And with this technology, Zoom, where we don't have to even physically go meet people, because prior to this, we wasted so much time waiting for a hotel event or an office event, waiting for a home meeting. Or if there was a coffee shop meeting, we had to drive and have them drive and set appointments. Now, if somebody joins on our team, we could set up a personal private Zoom meeting, personal private PBR style, and meet their prospect the same day if we really wanted to. You know, if Tyler joined my team today and I ask him, who's this, you know, top 10? Who's the emergency people? Like if you got a flat tire, who would you call right now? If you got arrested right now, who's the first few people you would call to get bailed out? You know, for all the ladies who, you know, like who's the one you always talk bad about your husband or boyfriend or all your problems to? Every girl has that 3, 4, 5 best friends. Every guy has that 3, 4 bros they could call right away without even explaining much and say, dude, we need to have coffee. I need to talk to you. We could get those people on the Zoom and reserve the few first spots for everybody. So it's non-negotiable, non-debatable that all of us as a leader that is influencer 200K where the volume is just not there, get very good at taprooting. Get very good at getting to deeper, deeper, deeper organizations no matter what. And here's what happens. If you keep going down, number one, you'll never lose momentum. Having that mindset within first 24 hours, it's up to me to get them results and have an influencer. If you keep doing that, you know what's gonna happen? Eventually, you're gonna find a superstar that's gonna explode out of control, who's gonna duplicate exactly what you did and do what you did to them and the team because they visually saw it. You know, everyone's visually seeing it. So instead of explaining it to them, you just do it. And you could be like, hey, Mr. Dan Nobles, don't you see you're a tree, girl? They're like, yeah, this is called taprooting. You're going to watch what I do and eventually help people do it. Where they're seeing it just go down and down and down and down. And everybody above is jacked up. Everybody above is seeing the benefit of a binary, but also never getting out of personally sponsoring people. See, in this business, I truly believe, you know, at first you will sponsor ridiculous amount of people with your warm market. That's of course everybody. But eventually it slows down for a lot of people because the warm market shrinks for your personals. And then you get into cold, or you get into lead generation, and you get into, you know, social media, or, you know, randomly talking to people, and that's okay. But you also don't want to avoid it, okay? Because you want to continue to lead by example. But I'm telling you right now, if you spend majority of your time taprooting, you'll never run out of people to work with. You'll never run out of people that are joining on your organization. Only reason why your business ever slows down is, like I said, you get into phase 2, phase 3, phase 4, and you forget taprooting. Just because some of you, let's just say, haven't personally sponsored somebody for the last 30 days, if you're personally helping your team dig, and doing the one-on-ones yourself, doing the launches yourself, right? Helping them make 3-way calls yourself, you know, helping them close the influencers yourself, personally following up with their guest yourself, you're still on phase 1. Remember that. Don't think because you haven't sponsored anybody for 7 days or last week, oh my gosh, I'm out of phase 1. No, remember what I said. Phase 1 is actively personally recruiting and actively helping your team get their personal recruits. But you can always do both, which makes you even a bigger leader, better leader, and a great champion in this business. Listen, guys, I'm guilty of everything I said myself right now. A leader makes the most amount of mistakes. That is why they became a leader. If I didn't make the mistakes some of you made, I don't have the right to go over this information. All I look at it is Mr. Danny Bay failed way more than all of us combined, made way more mistakes than all of us combined, and he just quickly learned how to not make the same mistakes. Only reason why I made great money in this industry is because I made more mistakes than every one of you in this conference right now outside of Mr. David Nieves, right? We both make a lot of mistakes, but guess what? That's what leader is. You can't be embarrassed you're on phase 2, phase 3, phase 4 right now. Boom, make a decision from today, I'm gonna get on phase 1. And always remember, taproot, 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 because it's easier to find the leader, and I apologize for my puppy cry, right? It's easier to find a leader than to make one. So no more just texting your team, give me your account. get involved where you know their account because you've helped them make the phone calls. You've helped them make the three-way calls. You've helped them set up the meeting. I'm telling you, when you're on phase one, this business is so fun. When you're tap earning, time goes by so fast, you forget to eat. You're like, oh my gosh, I wish I had more time in a day. And this business, I'm telling you, is so fun when you do it right. If you're stressed right now, you're concerned right now, it's only because you got out of phase one and tap earning. I'm telling you guys right now, everything I went over, I was taught from my mentors. It's all the mistakes I made, so it's okay. That is why all the leaders in this industry say, fail your way to success. Just keep making mistakes, but guess what? Learn from them and get better. Because every one of us, I'm telling you right now, are gonna see a great, great future in GPS. Some of the things that are coming, I don't even want to go over with all of you because you'll be jacked and you won't even do anything. Just know one thing. Some of the products we're going to be launching next few months, I know some of them, it's going to help all of us get our volume through the roof. You know, some of our serious leaders, we got to see the next generation of the VR headset that's going to come at the beginning of next year. I'm telling you, it is so slick. It is not anything the way it looks right now. Our new VR Lou speaker we have and the master trainer we have, I'm just telling you right now, you heard it from the team call 2 days ago, is probably the top 2 biggest personal development motivational speaker of all time in the 21st century that we just got on board with GPS2, that the moment you hear about that person's name, you're gonna be like, oh, dang. So all the things we want in GPS is on our way. Just be patient. We're a startup, we're a pioneer, and every one of us are influencer 200K in the making, just the volume isn't there yet. So I am jacked out of my mind. I think I spent a little too much time talking, but Mr. David Nieves, you're a true champion, such a great leader. I can't wait until I fly out to Texas to meet you and help the market and all over US grow with you and build a lifetime business. So I appreciate your friendship, your leadership. I'm gonna give it right back to you, sir.
Wow. I mean, incredible. I can tell you guys, I'm so happy this Zoom is being recorded. It is absolutely an honor to have Mr. Michael on with us and to be able to learn from him. Can I share with you real quick? And I said this before the call, but I know a lot of you jumped in a little bit before I said this. I paid for mentorship, close to $10,000 for a year mentorship for someone to mentor me. And this individual was my accountability partner. But more importantly, he mentored me. And the stuff that you're learning right now, the stuff that you're learning at this very moment is training that really it should cost us $10,000, $20,000 a year in order for us to receive. And I want everybody to be grateful for this because it truly is what we have right now, man. It's just so privileged. So go on the chat right now and give a big thanks to our mentor, Mr. Michael Hahn, because what he's doing for us, he is putting seeds. This is a seed inside of you that he's putting. And like someone put a seed in front of me and planted in me, Mr. Danny Bay, 15 plus years ago, put a seed inside of me that eventually got water and it sprout. And what we're doing right now, we're getting the seed is being planted, the knowledge is being planted, the awareness, again, the awareness is being planted of how multi-millionaires, 7-figure a month income earners think in this industry. That's what's being planted inside of you and me. And this is the process. And you're here right now. So congratulations. So on behalf of everyone here, I want to give a big thanks to Mr. Michael Hahn for his leadership, his knowledge, his commitment, his work ethic, and everything he does for this organization. Sir, we're going to make you proud. We're going to work hard, and we're going to make you proud by taking action upon this knowledge you have bestowed upon us. Well, that's what we're going to do. So, and we're going to be working hard for that. So thank you very much for this. You are, yes, Noriko, best mentor indeed, indeed. And I feel so privileged and honored to be here with you and to be on this call, let alone be in business with you. It's just a privilege. I would have paid $10,000-$20,000 for this information anyways. So just to be side by side with you, and we're all next to each other. Make no mistake, we're all next to each other. Everybody in this call is next to each other. Nobody's below anybody. Everybody's next to each other. And Mr. Michael Hahn is just a little next. And he is here sharing with us. So let's go out there and apply this recording. It will be available. I'm going to cut it so I can cut my part and I can just have Mr. Michael Hahn's training perfectly placed so we can share with everybody. And I'm excited about it. So thank you very much, guys. Let's go out there and make it happen. Tomorrow we have another call. And then, of course, we're only doing this 3 calls 3 times a week now. It's just to be able to capitalize on the other calls that we have on Friday. Remember, Saturday training is it. As we are working, let's promote towards Saturday training. Let's promote towards Saturday training. Let's promote towards Saturday training. And let's get everybody towards Saturday training. And if you're just getting started, and if you're seeing this, like, wow, what an amazing training. I already got multiple text messages from brand new people that say, oh my God, what an amazing training. Well, great. Here's what you need to do. You need to book your own PBR. You need to book your own PBR. And say it one more time. You need to book your own PBR and reach out to your upline, because we're going to help you invite. We're going to help you prepare for it. We're going to help you to see what you have to say in the beginning, how to open, how do you introduce a speaker. We're going to teach you everything on how to build a home-based business. And can you agree with me that today, more than ever, we all need a home-based business? I think you can agree with that. And I think the entire world agrees with it now. So today, we're going to teach you how to do that. So let's book your personal PBR, private business reception on Zoom, where myself and the leaders in this call can help present for you. The system is simple. You invite, which will help you how to invite. We present, they decide. What an amazing system that is. So again, thank you very much, Mr. Michael Hahn. It's an honor to be here. Have a good night, everybody. And let's go out there and make it happen. Tomorrow at 9 o'clock, we'll have this call again. And again, let's go out there and make it happen. Let's book your PBR. Shoot me a message if you're ready for me to help you. If you want me as your presenter, shoot me a message and I'll be your presenter and I'll help you presenting your PBR. And let's go ahead and start building depth and building your organization and building teams of community. That's what leaders do. They build teams of community, and we're building a team, and you're building from the ground up and helping everybody win from the ground up. That's what leaders do. So congratulations to all of you that were on this call. You're privileged. Let me tell you, you're privileged. Again, I would have paid $10,000, $20,000 for this information. I kid you not. I would have done that because I've done it before. And it's incredible for me to have this training right now. I love it. I absolutely love it. I mean, I feel like a little kid right now. I'm all giddy. So thank you very much, sir, for everything you do. And thank you, everybody. Let's go out there and make it happen. We're going to go ahead and end the call right now. Have a good night, everybody.
Bye. Good night.
Good night.